today is January 2nd, 2020, which means it is my -1 year wedding anniversary. But since my fiance is out on a ship, I'm doing something that I have never done before, which is go to the movies by myself. And yes, I'm going to see Cats. And like, it's fine because I feel like this is really the proper way to view Cats, is as a 25-year-old woman alone. So yeah, you may be thinking like, oh, that's kind of like sad and weird. Like, oh, maybe you want to like go see Cats because the reviews have been chaotic and you want to make fun of it. No. I am genuinely so excited to see this movie, and I have been since it like was announced. So I don't actually know very much about the plot, but also it seems like who does? But my only like experience with Cats, the musical, is I remember going to the library growing up, and we would go, you know, borrow VHS tapes, and I remember they always had Cats on VHS, and it was just like the black box, and it, you know, it had the cat eyes, and it just says Cats, and that's all the information on there. So I just remember being like little Heidi, like, oh my gosh, Cats, like I want this, and my mom being like, absolutely not, and me being like, but it's Cats, like it just says Cats, like it's about cats, like I want that, and my mom was always just like, no. And from then I understood, you know, like 80s Broadway musical, full-grown adults dressed as cats dancing on a stage. And as a child, of course, took my mother's word for any movie opinion. So I was like, oh yeah, like I don't want to see that. Fast forward to now, we have a movie with Taylor Swift in it. Like, this is all I've ever wanted. Okay, so like, I can just imagine, like, if you asked any single person on this earth who knows me, and you sat them down and you told them, hey, I want you to pitch a movie specifically for Heidi. Like, what would you pitch? And I'm pretty sure anyone who has ever met me would tell you, well, it's a musical, it's about cats, it has Taylor Swift in it, and it's just generally really weird. What is this movie? It's a musical, it's about cats, it's got Taylor Swift in it, and it's just weird. So I cannot wait to watch this film. I don't care what anyone says. The reviews aren't even necessarily all bad, but like I said, they're just absolutely chaotic. It's not even like, this is the worst movie ever. It's just like, I'm really confused, and why are the cats so sexy? Also, can we talk about, like, I don't understand why movie critics bother reviewing Cats. Like, first of all, you're a movie critic, you probably don't like musicals in the first place. You don't have to do this. Like, we already know you're gonna hate it. Also, like, it's got Taylor Swift in it. Is there anything in the entertainment industry that people love to hate on more than musicals and Taylor Swift? Like, I don't care. First of all, it's a weird musical. It's a musical about cats, and it's people dancing. And you know what? I really think they made the right decision to just make the movie weird. Granted, I haven't seen it yet, but from all of my understanding is the movie is just weird. And what would you expect? It's not like they're making, you know, Oklahoma again, where, you know, we're just, we're in Oklahoma doing our Oklahoma stuff and we're in love. No, this is Cats. They didn't look at the script like, oh, you know what, how can we make this, like, you know, kind of mainstream and, like, make people like it? They were like, you know what, this is a weird musical, so we're gonna make a weird movie. And I really respect that decision. But yeah, so I literally don't care what any movie critic has to say because I know you hate it. I knew you hated it from the moment it was announced. Like, I'm sorry, it's a musical about cats with Taylor Swift in it. Your negative reviews only make me stronger. I just know that I will like this movie regardless of whether or not it makes sense. Back to the plot. Yeah, I don't know anything really about the plot. I like briefly read some stuff on Wikipedia, but I didn't want to read through a synopsis of it because I want to be as genuinely surprised and confused as everyone else. So I I read like a brief description of,
Cats go to the Jellicle Ball.
whatever that means. Personally, my favorite explanation of what Cats is about is a tweet that I read. Let me find it because I need to read it word for word. Okay, I think someone I know shared this a while back, but it says,
Please stop saying the plot of Cats is confusing. The plot of Cats is that they're cats and they introduce themselves until one of them gets permission to die.
what? I also, in preparation for this movie, went ahead and bought the book of T.S. Eliot poems that the musical is based on. Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. It was a delightful little collection of poems about cats. I read it all yesterday. And it was just really great because it introduced the cats without, having a story, which sounds exactly like what the movie will be like. And obviously the musical, which I have never seen, but I feel like now I should pursue that. So yeah, I am really excited to see this movie, and I just hope that everyone can respect my opinions and excitement. And yeah, so I'm going tonight at 7:10 by myself on a Thursday night on my -1-year wedding anniversary. I'm seeing Cats. And then I will report back. Hopefully my expectations will be met, if not exceeded. So yeah, thanks for being here. So I will record a review tomorrow, a review by someone who loves musicals and Taylor Swift and has no understanding really of what makes a movie good or bad. Like, for example, my favorite movie of all time is Dirty Dancing. So if that gives you any indication of whether or not you want to continue watching this video, I totally understand. But yeah, can't wait. I'll be back in 3 seconds. Alright, I'm back, and I saw Cats, and I absolutely loved it. Just like I thought I would. Again, I just think that Cats just happens to be for a really niche audience, and that audience is me. I will admit, at the very, very beginning, the first pang of music, it was in a really minor key, and for a brief moment I was like, what have I done? But that was just very momentary, and then the rest of the movie I absolutely loved. I'm really glad I went to see it by myself because there were probably 6 other people in the theater when I saw it, so it was just 3 groups of 2. And every once in a while I could hear a snicker from someone, and I was just like, whatever. But I know no matter who I took with me, they would have been like, about one thing or another. So yeah, it turns out going to a dark room where people aren't allowed to talk, I am really happy there by myself, and I think I may start going to the movies by myself more often. Also, thank you to all my friends that replied to my Instagram story about going by myself, saying, oh, you should have told me you were going, I would have gone with you. And then when I said oh no, I made this decision, I wanted to go by myself, but I'm 100% open to going again, they basically all said, oh no, I didn't actually want to see it. So thank you for offering to do something you didn't want to do for me, but also you just thought it was sad that I was seeing cats by myself. It's fine. It's totally fine. Appreciate it. So I think a lot of the reason that I enjoyed the movie so much was that I went in very prepared. Like I said, I didn't read a synopsis of the plot or anything, but because I had read the book of poems, see, I always figured that the musical was just based on the poems, but it turns out actually most of the music is word for word the poems. So, when I saw the movie, I wasn't confused by the cats just one after another introducing themselves. I feel like a lot of people seeing the movie probably sit through like the first half and are like,
wait, what is going on?
when in reality, nothing is going on. There has been no plot for at least the first half of the movie. And since I knew the poems, I was sitting there like, oh, they're just introducing themselves still. Like, there wasn't any additional content outside of the poem, so I wasn't confused about what was going on. I think I actually did the same thing when I finally saw Inception, because I saw it so much later than when everyone else saw it. People saw it in theaters and then talked about it incessantly for months about how it was
the biggest confusion of their lives, and they had no idea what was going on, and it was, wow, just blah.
So when I finally watched it, I was so ready to be confused that I paid such close attention to everything that happened. And by the end of the movie, I was like, that was not at all confusing. But I think it was really just because I was so prepared. I think I watched it again and like read through a synopsis because I was like, I must be missing something that's like mind-blowingly confusing. No, I just was very ready to be confused, and so I wasn't. And so the same thing happened with cats. It was like, so the cats are introducing themselves, and then once we got to the plot, which there isn't much of a plot, I was like, oh, this is what's happening. Like, there's a bad cat, and he's doing bad things, and the cats all want to die. And that was really it. Like, I feel like people expected there to be a lot more plot, and there really isn't. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I understand that people are unsettled by the like half human, half cat CGI, but please tell me, what else could you do? Like, your only options for a Cats live action movie is, number one, you have people dressed in cat costumes like you do for the stage production, or two, you have half human, half cat CGI. Because they can't just be full cats. Like, what else did you want? People that are unsettled by this, how would it have been less unsettling for you? Because if it had just been actors in cat costumes, boy howdy, I can only imagine.
Well, they're just actors in cat costumes. Like, that's so weird.
Okay, like, get over it. It's cats. So yeah, the CGI really didn't bother me because what else would you do? And the music is amazing. Love Jennifer Hudson. Would listen to her sing Memory all day. Loved the main actress. The girl who played Victoria. Wonderful. Absolutely amazing dancing. I cannot dance at all. Like, I'm not putting myself down. It's just like, the wires in my brain to like see dance, do dance. Like, they're either crossed or totally non-existent. So when I see people dance, I'm like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. Because I cannot do that. So her dancing was phenomenal. Loved her singing. She was so sweet and beautiful. Loved Taylor, obviously. I knew she was gonna be like the sexy cat, but I didn't know she was also like the bad cat and like the druggy cat. I just thought it was all fantastic. And I honestly, like, people that don't like it, how would you like it improved? Because it's cats. What did you expect? Like, if you're someone who likes the musical Cats, or maybe has seen the show before, and then saw the movie and you were like,
oh, I didn't like that because this, and this.
That's fine. You're totally valid in your opinions. But people who don't like cats in the first place, I don't want to hear you talking about how you didn't like the movie because you just don't like cats. And that's fine. This movie isn't for you. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be for you. But yeah, I loved it. I would talk more about what I loved about it, but like, I'm not like a movie person, so it would just be me over and over like, I love that, and I love that, and I love that, with no really like explanations or reasoning or anything. I just liked it, okay? So if you also saw Cats and you liked it, I would love to hear what you liked. If you didn't like Cats, or if you haven't seen Cats because you know you won't like it, that's totally fine. I just don't want to hear about it. Like, you're totally allowed to have your opinions, but I just really don't see the point in going online and just bashing things you don't like. So if you didn't like it, maybe just comment below, like, what other musical you'd like to see made into a movie. Or even, like, remade into a movie. Like, there's a lot of classics that it's been a while that we've had a movie, so maybe we could, like, get a new one. So yeah, if you don't like Cats, tell me what musical you do like. This is 2020. We're learning to not give negative, unwarranted opinions on inconsequential non-issues. So comment something nice. So yeah, in conclusion, loved it. Don't think they could have really done anything different to, like, make people like it, you know? And I just love Taylor Swift. And yeah, that's about it.